Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Back at you in Gloves Off, and today I have a great guest, Juan Ramirez, who's running for LISD's school board.
District 1.
District 1.
Yes.
How we doing?
Pretty good, and yourself?
Good to see you.
Likewise.
How's your father?
He's doing very good. Going through some health issues, but still going strong.
You know, he's a good man.
Definitely
He was
is.
one of the best city councilmen that we've ever had.
I totally agree with you.
And he did a lot of great stuff for the city. And there's there, and since I would say from 2000 to now, he's one of the best ones that we've had.
I totally agree, Paul. You know, he was one of those that wouldn't sugarcoat nothing. You know, would say it as it is. And he would be those persons that if he strongly believed on an issue, he would stand on it. No matter what was going on, he would stick his grounds.
Absolutely. And, well, you know, your whole family's, and majority of your family has been involved in politics here for a long time.
Yes,
you know?
definitely, for the longest time. You know, they were fighting for justice, for the best that could be provided for the people of the barrios. You know, going back in the day with the food stamp program, the war on poverty, always standing out for all of our, you know, neighbors.
Absolutely. And so it's so I know that political influence, a political energy has entered you, and you've had it there for a while. And tell me, what needs to be changed, or what do you think needs to be changed with our school districts, especially LISD?
Well, there's some things that are, you know, that needs to be improved. One, we need to improve our safety. But that's my number one priority. That's my slogan. And what do I mean by safety? You know, we need to make sure everyone in our facilities at LISD are safe and secure. You know, we need to make sure that if somebody goes in, who are you? Immediately find out who that person is. So there's systems in place as we speak, but there's always room for improvement, and we need to improve on that. Salary increases for our teachers, our staff, our paraprofessionals. You know, we need to continue working on that and finding a way to continue providing the necessary increases for them. They work hard, they go out of their ways, you know, to day in and day out. Some of them get there very early at 7 in the morning and are the last ones to leave 8, 9 o'clock at night. You know, standing up, going and helping our students or excel.
You know, we have some great educators here in our Laredo. We have something that we have to be proud of.
Yes,
We have
definitely.
some great individuals that are in there, and folks that make an impact on our children when they need it the most, and that's what we do. I agree with you fully with the security. The issue that happened in that horrific event that happened not so long ago over in Uvalde, and our hearts go out.
Yes,
Uvalde.
definitely.
Just showed us a lot of wrongs, a lot of incompetence, and stuff that we have to start picking back up, and we have to start calling it a spade a spade. You know, we can't say it's an ace of hearts when it's an ace of spades.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
And now we need to understand that now we have to, the training, the security for our children has to be number one.
Yes, you know, it has to be number one, because we cannot live with the mindset that nothing has happened here and nothing will happen. We cannot foretell the future, but we have to be ready when it happens. You know, we have to be ready to prevent that. We have to be ready to stop that outside the gates from it occurring. because our kids go in and day out with their mindset of learning, with being with their friends, enjoying their extracurricular activities, enjoying their senior year. That's what our students go in on a daily basis, and we need to provide that safety for everyone in our facilities. We need to go out there and not only train our police officers, but our securities personnel that are on every single campus. We need to make sure they're properly trained. We need to make sure for them to be able to find out what you're wearing, find out if somebody's carrying a weapon, be able to find out if there's a bulge on your jacket, what is that? If the metal detector beeps, hey, you cannot continue until we find out what you're carrying.
I'm a stickler for training, and I've always been for teaching people the martial skills for a very long time. Made it a career out of it. I've not only taught here, I've taught all over the world. I've seen the differences in the way police work. I've seen the way the police work in France, in Italy, Brazil, Mexico, and throughout the other states of the United States. Here in Texas, we have something called TICLOS.
Yes.
That's the agency that teaches or certifies what can be taught to the police. TICLOS has failed us. The training that was given to the police officers failed us, because there were 376 police officers out there playing pocket pool and didn't do nothing. So it failed. And if they're just going to be teaching more with the same instructors that have the same curriculums there, they're going to fail even more in a bigger magnitude. God forbid. Okay? I'm not going to wood.
Yes.
But just what's happening, what it was, we need to change the training. We have to look at the training a lot different. We have to make sure, the police are the police. But what happened in Uvalde is a mirror of all the police agencies throughout Texas, because they get the same training of TICLOS. Okay?
Yes.
So when that happens, it's like telling people, you know what, I'm going to teach you 8 hours of savate or boxing, and that's it. Now I want you to go in the ring and fight Pernell Whitaker, or I want you to fight Julio Cesar Chavez, or go up against Tyson. Well, guess what? No, not that. Let's just go up against a state Golden Glover or an amateur boxer. They will not make it. They will not go in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and it has to be a training that is continuous.
Yeah, continuous.
And
Exactly right.
that you have to continue trying to make it better.
Yep.
And because you never know what's going to happen.
And
you never know how many. It could be one, it could be two. It could be simple as a school fight that gets out of control.
Absolutely.
It has happened in the past, but the more important thing is we have to be ready for the unexpected.
Absolutely.
We have to be prepared. And a lot of times how I see it is like your tool bag. You gotta have your bag full of tools, because you never know what you're gonna face. So you gotta be ready for the unexpected.
You are correct, and I like what you said about training, continuous training. Training, a lot of these places are going to have 8-hour training. Or we already did the class of what they call it now, active shooter. We already did the class for that. You're already certified to go fight that. When is he going to do it again? When is he going to be training again? If you're a police officer in France, you train. You're mandatory that you have to train. They have an instructor. You have to train daily.
Yeah.
You don't train, once, 8 hours, but then they'll touch it again. Oh yeah, they give me a class.
Once
and
every 6 months.
It was a great video. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you have to be doing it all the time.
Yes, and lately I attended a meeting with LISD. They had the first meeting, a town hall meeting actually. This was last week on Tuesday. It's on security and safety, and there was a lot of parents that attended. There was it was held by the LISD Parental Involvement. Chief Doreen Hill was there. FBI, DPS, Sheriff Goyer was there. The DA, Mr. Chilolanis was there, which was a good panel. but like they were all assuring us, the parents, that they've been partaking in active shooter trainings and numerous trainings. But one of the important elements as well that we only see school, or we try, hey, school, you need to do this, but it also comes on us, parents. We need to make sure we teach our children the right things to do. We need to have our ears open. If we see something that is happening, if it's happening to our children, if we hear a conversation with our children, with their friends, and there's something to be concerned, we as parents, we need to notify the school. We heard this, be on the lookout, and it's a team effort.
Absolutely.
And as to the training, I totally agree. I have the highest confidence in them that what they mentioned, I believe them. But the important thing is to continue. One of my things always been, when you're at school, you hear, we're gonna practice lockdown drills. We're gonna practice a fire drill. Wonderful. But sometimes do them unannounced. Do a lockdown drill to see if everything's working properly. If everybody did their responsibility, if the doors were locked, if there's anybody wandering in the halls, where is everybody? Is everybody accounted for? Is anybody missing? We need to do that. Fire drills. We need to make sure they're run unannounced. Make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. Everybody evacuated at their designated areas. Not only, okay, we're gonna practice. Okay, here we go, guys. In 10 minutes, we're gonna have a fire drill. No. Yes, do that, but also do it on plan. That way, you see if we need to improve an area, improve something.
Absolutely. This is, there's a lot of, we can talk about this all day and
Yes.
everything else. But again, they all went to the courses. Everybody jumped on board. Everybody's doing the courses left, right, and once again. When are they going to do it again? When are you doing it over again?
Yes.
Do I trust the police officers being able to sustain something like that? No, I don't. And I'm being as honest as me. I'm not trying to be making fun of them. I love them to death. These guys are out there, but they're not ready. Nor DPS, nor sheriff, nor Laredo Police Department, nor LISD police, or whatever. They're not ready.
Yes, because it's
And
something.
they showed us what happened over there, and I'm like, you know what? You guys have to start being ready of everything.
Yes.
I don't think every police department should have a SWAT team. I think we should have one central unit, maybe the sheriff being the highest of the county, and he better have 3-4 teams ready to go at a moment's time. And those people, your SWAT, you better, you better be training. There's a difference between teaching you how to fight, having a fighter, a competitive fighter, okay?
Okay.
And then having somebody that just comes to class, okay? A competitive fighter, you better be on a diet, you better be rolling this, you understand what I'm saying? You better be on point all the time. You're training to the kid that's just coming out here to understand that what he's doing, give him some self-defense, some self-esteem, it's a different training.
Yes. And I agree, because a lot of times all these people, if you go back and look into what has happened, they were preparing themselves maybe more like for the long time, observing what the area looks like,
of course,
building up the things and planning it over and over. But I agree, we have to continue working with them. We have to continue training over and over and be ready for the unexpected. Sometimes even to the point that I could be training hitting a bag, but if I never get hit back, I'm never gonna know how it feels.
Absolutely.
You
said
it is hard. Yes, it is hard when somebody's shooting at you. It is very dangerous. A lot of things go through your mind. And if I cannot sit here and tell you I know what they go through, because I'll be lying to you.
You know what? And there's some school districts in other states and stuff that are actually hiring combat veterans, those that were in combat, those that are not going to run from the bullet, they're going to actually run towards it, and preparing them to be the schoolyard. And people said, oh, but they're going to be walking around with a gun. I'd rather for them to be walking around with protecting the perimeter of my kids, because that's our most precious possession, than have some guy that never went to an 8-hour class and understand what you know what I'm saying? So that's something we have to look at, and that has to be looked at.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
You know,
it
it's
has
something
to
that
be
has to be
everything
looked
that,
at,
you know.
and we can never forget. And
I'm not knocking down our police, but they're not ready. You know what I mean? It's like playing, you know, and I graduated Martin, you did too, and playing the Martin Tigers varsity against the Dallas Cowboy football team. You know what I'm saying? Totally two
we
different.
gotta continue practicing.
Yeah, totally, and they both practice, but there's totally two different. You know what I mean?
Two different levels.
But other than that, what else would you like to see in our schools that you say, you know what, this is what's needed? I would like to, what my experience has, because you see a lot.
Yes, I've seen a lot.
In your work, you see a lot of issues with juvenile and stuff like that. What would you like to change in the school?
You know, one of the things that is communicating, listening to the students. I had the opportunity to work with communities in schools. Had the opportunity to work as an attendance officer with LISD, as a teacher aide, you know, with LISD as well. But the important thing is I was able to work with them on a one-to-one basis, get to understand the student, be able to know the student, and find out how I can help them out. During communities in schools, it's a wonderful program, you know, that people should continue and helping them out. And it's a program that helps the students graduate from high school. Not only that, take away any when I was there, I would take away any reasons the student wanted to drop out of school. How come you want to drop out of school, Paul? No, because I don't have food on my table. What did we provide you for that? How can I help you stay in school? And not only graduate, but get them ready for the next level. And that's one of the things that I feel it's missing, that we concentrate too much on testing and we don't get them ready to the next level.
Absolutely.
We don't get them ready to prepare writing 10, 15-page papers. You know, because a lot of the students that graduate, they're going to become freshmen and they take their 1301 English. And when they get faced by you need to prepare a research paper, they get stunned, they get startled. Okay, what do I do? How do I do it? We need to get them ready for that. And we need to push reading. You know, we need to push that reading for kids to continue reading. There's a part where it falls off. They start in the elementary, AR reading galore, pushing kids to read, which is, I totally believe in that. But then as you go to the secondary level, it starts wearing off. High school, you barely hear about it. You know, and it's sad.
You're absolutely correct. The involvement of communication has to be, and not only do the teachers have to be involved with the communicating, the parents also have to be involved with communicating.
That's the number one component, there.
And parents should be communicating with your kids left and right. You know this right here? If they're on it, a lot of times you have to find out what apps they're playing, what everything. You have all the right to go inside and look exactly what they're supposed to.
Yes.
A 12-year-old kid should not be on Facebook. It says adult entertainment. Should not be on Instagram, adult entertainment. Where did they and how did they get involved with this? And you better find out. You also better find out a lot of these kids are playing those video games that are connected with people around the world. I mean, there's a lot of predators out there. A lot of
we don't
pedophiles
know
out there.
on the other end. We don't know.
And the parent says, "Oh, he's just playing video games." You better find out they're being communicating with somebody else, and these monsters out there are digging in and they're hunting kids. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. You know,
right now it's hard out there, Paul. You know, there is a lot of human trafficking. You know, a lot of human trafficking here locally with young males and females. You'll be surprised. You know, there's a lot of smuggling of persons going on. It's crazy. But we need to continue educating our students. We cannot give up. But it's not also the responsibility of the school. And you said it starts at home. You know, parents, we need to get involved with our children. We need to know what's going on. I know right now, economically wise, it's very difficult. There's parents that have to work 2-3 jobs to just make ends meet. But that shouldn't be an excuse not to listen to your children, because a lot of times, sometimes we do the mistake of, "Mommy, can I talk to you ahorita?" Give me a second. And when we do that, we lose them at that point in time.
You stop what you're doing and you do that. And
Yes,
it's something
because they're their pride and joy.
you know, I see it probably from teaching here and being out in different areas and you know, and the pay attention to the problems that they had. I was out, you know, came from Laredo, you know, grew up here. So it was a different culture than growing up in Dallas or what have you, right?
Yes.
So I had a different feel for it. But you see a lot of kids that their parents don't know what they're doing. You see them
Yes.
here, they come over here, you know, and they're good kids.
Yes, they are.
You know, but once you lose them, you lose them. And right now you said something that was very much in there about the human trafficking and the smuggling and everything. You know, people didn't want the wall because it was the racist orange man bad, you know. No border wall, mira que ha hecho.
That is happening.
Now we have it everywhere. Now you have 16-year-olds getting involved with crossing illegals over the checkpoint because they can drive. You have young kids, boys and girls getting involved. Oye, sabes que te damos tanto, pásame esto por el checkpoint. And you see them, you probably see them in the courtroom, you see them all over the place. They're getting busted. The underworld will continue to do harm and evil, and they're going to look out for these little guys that do not know any better. They don't know the street smarts, and they're going to get hit. And that's all because we have not secured our border.
You know, but also, Paul, is that within the school, we need to counter that. We need to attack that. And what will be one of the ways? Extracurricular activities, Paul. Like you said, there's a lot of people that have tremendous talent, not only in athletics, academic, musical, you know, theater arts, chess. So we gotta continue pushing for that, for them to build it, and for them to excel. My goal is to have our students in our schools go to the Coach Buitrón. What do I need to do to be in your team? I want to be in your team. You know, I want to be there. We need to continue in insistent discipline, responsibilities, academically. We need to provide that support to our students, our players, our athletes, because not only we want to finish in school, but we also want to make them be able to play on the next level. We have talents here. We have had one of our top running backs a few years ago, and Martin, you know, Nixon, Cigarroa. We have tremendous talent. But do they go to the next level? How many of them proceed the next level?
Let's look at
Students in ROTC.
Yeah.
You know, let's get them into the career. If they want to pursue their military career, by all means, go for it. But we need to provide them with the information necessary. What do they need to do? What their GPA needs to be. Provide them that tutoring that they need. Not only are you gonna go there, hit the football field, the basketball court, the volleyball court, do it for me. I have to do it for you too. You know,
Absolutely, no, you're absolutely correct. You know, and we have to start picking up our students in the sports. Maybe the kid's not good in basketball, but maybe he's good in football. Maybe he's not good in football, but he's good in baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not good in those sports, but he's
But
good in boxing.
chess.
Or boxing.
Or
Let's get him
boxing,
in a program. Let's affiliate ourselves with the people that are out there in a good, solid basis.
And now that the district also has swimming.
You know what? Or swimming, what have you, or savant, or whatever. Let's get them to the point that there is. Let me tell you something. Here's a story. In 1990, okay, I was in France. I was studying in France, and I spoke English. I was part of the French team, and so on and so forth. The vice president of the International Federation comes over and he goes, "Paul, we're going to send you along with the team because you're part of the French team." Even though I did not compete as a Frenchman, I was part of the team. I was part of INSEM. And we're going to go to St. Petersburg, Russia, to promote Savate Boxe Française. Wow, okay. So here I am, going to St. Petersburg, Russia. We got there, it was myself, my trainer, which was Richard Sila, who was a hellacious world champion. He had 133 fights and 133 knockouts. That's how good he is, or he's still alive. We had Farina, which was a world champion. We had Pinocchio, who was a world champion. And we had he was from Nice, Frank May, who was from the Southern France. And we had the vice president of the international one with us, Michel Roger. who had been here before. Here, the majority of these guys have been here, and so we went over there. We met. Okay, tomorrow we met in a procession, and this you're gonna meet all the athletes tomorrow. They divided us into two gymnasiums. One gymnasium, like a basketball court,
Okay.
and another gymnasium, another basketball court. They brought down 500 martial artist athletes from Russia, the whole Russia. Okay, and they brought them in there from karate, from aikido, from judo, from boxing, from wrestling, from this, from. They're all there. They were all there. And they divided them all into us, and we're supposed to teach them. Okay. And we'll teach them after, and we had a thing with a list, and we had to go by and yes, no. We're there for a week. The first day, at the end of the night, we're in front of the Russian guys, and they say, "Which ones do you all think are able to make it?" But this person here, which ones are not able to make it? And they're not good for this.
Yes.
We went down. These people, we had to knock them down. Okay. The next day, those people weren't there, so it had been diminished. Okay. We ended up with 25 each. Okay.
Okay.
From the 100 that we had, each one of us.
Yes.
Wow. At the end of Friday when it came out, they sat. Everybody was up there, and they come up there and they said, "This is the Russian Savate Federation, and this is the Russian team that they had."
Wow.
Okay, so they eliminated everybody that was not good for that, and the ones that had potential, they put them there. And I was like, wow, I'd never seen that before, but again, it's Russia.
Yeah.
But we have to start picking our kids to see what they're fruitful at. Maybe they're great at tennis, maybe they're great at baseball, maybe they're great, that's what I'm getting at. And push them that way. Not have them in a team sitting down as benchers, nunca hacen nada, they say, you know what, I don't want to be here. Because maybe their talent is somewhere else. And we have to start picking our talents and start embellishing their talents that they have and move them forward. And quit wasting their time, really, in high school.
The thing, Paul, that I would say, is you could be correct, but, I've noticed that we need, especially like sports like football, where you have 11 players playing at a time on offense, and 11 players on defense, 11 players on kickoff and return.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that we hear sometimes, oh, so and so goes down with a concussion.
You have to bring somebody else.
We have to put somebody else, and
sure.
Unfortunately, they could be out about 10-15 days concussion protocol.
No. Yes.
But the important thing is that, let's give everybody a chance to play. If we're up 21-0, you know what? Let me put the third string in, give them some exposure
absolutely.
to play, because you never know.
You
Tom
know.
Brady. Some people think he's the GOAT. He was the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He went down when Drew Bledsoe got injured. He came in, hey Brady, you go in, and never sat down again.
Yeah, exactly right.
You never know. You can have your second stringer or your third stringer that can be that player you were waiting for, that can go out there and take the team to victory. But
there's a lot of guys that do not have the coordination to be there. Some of these guys can be first, second, third stringers,
Yes.
and they still have the coordination. But they'll put people that put them somewhere else. Then they can better themselves. I guess I hate to be that way, but you kind of have to be that way. It's what are your best traits, and let's build upon them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your trait is not maybe you're not good in reading, but you can comprehend. Let's put you in business courses, because you might be a hellacious businessman. Put you in negotiation. Let's put you in other classes.
You might like accounting, that you can be an excellent accountant.
You know what I'm saying?
You can be an awesome future CEO of a bank. But there's a lot of opportunities that people can learn in school. I wish that when I was in school, we had the abilities that the students have as we speak right now, that it's tremendous. You know, when I was in school, I was there, and I, you know, would listen to my dad, or he would teach me. And when I went into school, I graduated as a junior. You know, I started with my class, I started freshman, sophomore, and then I became a senior. But it took sacrifice. You know, I had to drop my lunch class. I took a class extra. Went to summer school. That was when, you know, you only had one high school that would provide summer school, and you had to pay it out of your own pocket. But I did that sacrifice, and I'm proud of what I did. But the important thing that I'm here, Paul, is to be there for the students.
Absolutely.
Be there for the teachers. The teachers need a lot of support. The staff, the community as a whole. That's the important thing, because the decisions that are made at the board, we need to, number one, always keep the kids in mind. Every single time.
Absolutely.
Not only, oh, we're going to do it. No. Every single time we need to keep them in mind. We cannot forget about them.
Absolutely.
The teachers, the staff, and the community. You know, we need to continue trying to do what more can we do? How can we improve this? And second, inform the people. We need to keep our constituency informed of what's going on. If they're not going to the boardroom, you know what? Let's go to them. Let's go to the parent meetings at the elementary school, the parent meeting at Farias or Santa Maria, Kristen.
Or send a newsletter with the kids.
People, this is what's going on. I'm willing to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I've been in parent meetings, I've been in LPAC meetings, I've been at band booster clubs. I've been there. You know, so I'm not afraid of rolling up my sleeves and getting my hands dirty.
No, we have to do that, Juan. We all have to do that.
Yeah.
And we have to do that for our kids. Number one, remember, our kids are number one of
Oh, definitely.
And that's all we live for. It's for our family,
yes,
right? But
we sacrifice for our children.
We need our security. We need a good education. We have great teachers. Let them teach.
Definitely.
Let them teach. Don't wrap them up on a test. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we need to provide the support that they need. You know,
absolutely.
It's sad that you see teachers go home like stressed out, that they had a hard day's work. You know, they were dealing with things happening. We need to make sure they go home wanting to go water the grass, wanting to go check their rose bushes. You know, wanting them to go spend time with their children.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they get home, they just I wanna go to sleep. Forget about it. I had a bad day. But they're still moms, they're still dads, and they still have a family and a responsibility. So we need to keep that in mind for our teachers, our staffs. You know, I was there when the issue of COVID came around. I went before the board trying to provide the support for every employee at the district. I did it with honor, and I was with pride. Lately, when they were asking for a pay increase, I went there and I told the board, the same situation, problem we're having financially, I know you are doing it too. But somehow we gotta jiggle it and find what falls down. And find out how can we help our employees. We don't want to lose, you know, teachers. We don't want to lose coaches. We don't want to lose personnel. Because what if they decide to go somewhere? Then what? You know, we gotta be able to continue providing what is necessary to everyone in our district.
Absolutely, well said, folks. You've heard Juan Ramirez. If you guys want to get involved with his race, help him out. What are the boundaries? Because I know it's kind of funny.
Yes, the boundaries is from the south side. It goes from Park. It goes to Davis, a block after Santa Maria, and then it goes up north to Pogenpo. Goes right to Santa Maria, up all the way to Garden. On Garden, it goes left to Santa Clotilde, and then right to Jefferson, and left to the river. But on the east side, it's all the way from Park all the way to Faria Street, which is the street between the Northwest Boys Club and the City of Laredo Rec Center. So the schools that it covers is Martin, Kristen, Santa Maria, Leindecker, and Farias. So I ask you all to please support me, Juan Ramirez. I'll be your voice in the school district. I'm there for you. I'm there for your students, for your sons and daughters, for everybody that works for the school district, and I will continue fighting for salary increases for everyone and more importantly, for the safety of everyone in our district.
Absolutely. Now, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me. I have a page on Facebook, Juan Ramirez for District Number 1. You're more than welcome in to follow the page, send me messages. I'm here to answer any questions and concerns. My number is 319-7140. Feel free to give me a call. And I'll be glad to stop by your house. We're gonna be block walking, Paul. So I wanna go touch and talk to people, listen to their concerns that they have, and be there for them. Listen and help them to ease their concern.
Absolutely. Folks, you've heard a good man here talk about the issues that we have, and we're all concerned about the safety. And we're going to leave you with this. You all stay safe, you all be safe, and God bless you all. Until next time.
Hasta luego. Dios los bendiga.